Hi, I'm Jake, and I've been drawing Pokemon since I was 7 years old. Today's video is a bit of a challenge to see if I can take randomly generated sprites and turn them into Fakemon. So if you like the sound of that, stick around till the end of the video. I found this website a few years ago on Twitter when I saw another creator use it to make some creature designs, and if I can find them again I'll put them on screen because they were really cool and they gave me a lot of inspiration back then. So I'm really hoping that it gives some other people the inspiration to have a go. So I will leave the link to the website that I found in the description. So if you guys have a go, just tag me because I'd love to see. So without further ado, let's get stuck in. So this is the sprite sheet that was generated for me, and I picked this one because I thought there was a few designs that I could end up using. So the first sprite that I picked really reminded me of Mime Jr. or Smoochum. It gave me like a baby clown vibes, but in a cute way, not a creepy way. And those 3 pixels floating at the top made me think that it was juggling balls. So I went with that design for this little guy. I haven't thought of any names for these Fakemons, so if you think of any good ones, please drop them in the comments. I envision this mon as being a psychic type or maybe a dark type, maybe even ghost as we get into its evolution. For the second randomly generated sprite, it didn't really seem very random to me. It is quite clearly a clown there. So I went with creepy clown vibes, and those 2 red pixels at the top, at first I thought could have been juggling balls, but then I thought, isn't Blacephalon already a juggler? And we don't actually have many puppeteer Pokemon. So once I decided on a puppeteer Fakemon, I started looking at images of creepy puppets, so like Punch and Judy, and that's where I ended up editing the face to look like this really. And those floating purple pixels I thought were perfect for floating hands. The purple pixel in the middle I thought could be like a clown necklace. I don't know what those ruffles are called, but that. I think in reality this is probably too scary to be in a Pokemon game. It might scare a few kids. But I could really see this being a ghost and dark type. Again, if you can think of any name ideas, drop them in the comments. I should also probably say that I'm well aware that the colours don't really flow from the pre-evolution into the evolution, but that's part of the challenge. I'm challenging myself to stick to the 3 colours that the random generator gives me. Overall, I'm really proud of how these guys came out, and the second evolution is probably one of the best Fakemon I think I've ever made. Hopefully you guys agree too. So moving on, I picked these 2 sprites because I think the colour schemes worked well together. It was a bit of a weird one, but it was giving me angel vibes. Not as in like the winged people, but as in the biblically accurate angels, you know, the really weird looking ones. So I gave it a go, but I ended up going down the fairy route for a bit, and then I was struggling, so I ended up swapping to the evolution and then coming back to this one. And that's when I really honed in on the biblically accurate bit. So I could see this little guy being a fairy flying type, although its wings kind of look like they're made of fire, so maybe fire fairy. Now, believe me when I tell you that this sprite was probably one of the hardest ones that I could have picked. The sprite gave me Vylon inspiration, so if you've ever played Yu-Gi-Oh, Vylon is an archetype in that, and I'll put a picture on the screen for you to see. But with the sprite also having that hole in the middle, I thought I'd try and do like a dream catcher design, but I didn't like that. So I went all in on that biblically accurate angel look, and specifically it's based on a throne. And yes, I'm aware this one's a bit of a stretch, but it was a hard sprite, so cut me some slack. As you might have picked up already, in my art style I don't tend to shade, but I needed to put some darker shades of blue on this just to emphasise the way that the rings were going. They were so hard to draw, but I think it turned out okay in the end. I think these guys definitely need the fairy type because of their inspiration being angels, but I could see it being fire, flying, even steel as well. And I think that's the point of this challenge, is that it's really interpretive of a couple of pixels being changed into a full-on character. And now we're on to the second to last sprite for the video. So this little guy made me think that it was like a haunted pot or something like that, or like a haunted burial urn, maybe an ancient relic with a spirit trapped inside. So I really tried to double down on that ancient feeling. As you can see, I took a few attempts trying to design this guy, but in the end I used the crack and the patterns on the jar to imply eyes and another crack to imply the mouth. Kind of gave it that haunted stare feel that I was looking for. I think that the ghost and ground type really suits this Fakemon. I've probably thought of the most lore for this Fakemon of the bunch. I think that it would have the soul of a deceased soldier or something trapped inside the jar, because when it evolves, I think that this guy looks like a terracotta soldier, and so that's going to be the inspiration for its evolution. I can't believe how much I struggled with this. It looks like a really simple design to nail, but I just couldn't get right what was in my head. And I think that my problem was that I came into the design biased. I wanted to make a fighting type Fakemon because of the soldier idea that I had, but it just wasn't fitting with the colours that I had and the proportions of the pot. So that's when I gave it that cracked mouth effect. And I just really liked the look of the tongue. Then I just fully leaned into the ghost haunted pot idea. In the end, I'm really happy with it. I love the cracked effect, and I think it would keep its ghost and ground type. It kind of reminds me of the phantoms from Legend of Zelda Spirit Tracks. I could see it standing guard in graveyards, trying to protect its pre-evolution from anything like grave robbers or treasure hunters, something like that. And I'm really thankful that the random generator gave me two sprites with really similar themes and colours. So I guess that proves that you can make Fakemon from random sprites. I really enjoyed this challenge, and I hope you guys did too. I enjoyed it so much that I'm thinking of maybe even trying to do a random generated region from these sprites. I'm going to try and pick out starters for the next time I do this challenge. Again, thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. And as a reward for getting this far in the video, here's a sneak peek at what's going to come next for the Greek-inspired region. We are going to be looking at Pika clones and designing 2 electric type lines for the Greek-inspired region. So if you like the sound of that, I'll see you next week. Thanks, bye.